This is the first time I've done a presentation like this using a PowerPoint. I'm used to doing this with a whiteboard, so this is going to feel a little weird. My brain is going to want to draw all over that thing, and I can't, but, but it's okay. So welcome to Speaking Their Language, a guide to growing your business with content marketing. Before I get rolling, LaRue, how much time do I have?
Till 1 o'clock.
Okay, cool. I can do this in that amount of time. Okay. So a very, very brief little bio on who I am. Again, my name is Paul. I'm from Colorado, and I got into the filmmaking space probably about 10 years ago, but didn't really start taking it seriously until 2018. I went to film school in 2019 for digital cinematography. And when I got out, I was like, okay, I have this skill set now. What do I do with it? I've always been one that really enjoys figuring out how to help people with a skill set that I have. And so a friend of mine was like, hey, you should start a business and just do video content for people. I was like, well, okay. I don't know exactly what that means, but all right. So I started this, my business, right at the end of 2019, and I kind of bounced all over the map, doing small business promotionals. There was a guy in the town that I lived in who was running for county commissioner and wanted promotional content. That was the first gig I ever did as a semi-professional. And then it just kind of grew from there. I had people calling from small businesses, or there was a place that was a hemp farm that wanted social media content and all kinds of random things. I wasn't really focused anywhere. And then I got a call from a guy who worked for a land brokerage. And turns out this guy was responsible for doing all of the land stuff that my previous client, the hemp farm, they had done work together. So that was how they networked. And eventually I thought, oh, real estate could be something really, really good. And so I started doing that, and things kind of grew from there to where I do this full time now. So this is really the entire thing that not just my business is built on, but I think content marketing in general for any business, real estate, products, any any kind of service business, functional medicine, you name it, is built on a system like this. Now, this presentation is not so much a, here's what I do and you should hire me, although there is that. This is more, I want to essentially teach the fundamentals and the skill of content marketing. Because nowadays in 2023, if you want to grow a business, putting out content online is basically mandatory. Like, if people are looking for you, where are they going? I doubt many people are looking through an actual phone book anymore. No one's letting their fingers do the walking physically anymore. That's not a thing. So here's essentially how this works. You determine your ideal customer. What is your target audience? I'll go through these in depth. You find your target audience. You produce content that speaks their language. You define your value, which can be reduced down to an equation, and I'll go into that more later. And then you spread the message. Facebook, Instagram, website, YouTube, TikTok, etc. And then once you've done your first two steps and you've figured out who you're marketing towards, then you just rinse and repeat the process 3 through 5. So, what does it mean to determine your target audience? Well, think about the business that you have, what it is that you're offering. If it's a product, a whole range of products, a service, like maybe it's cleaning pools. Maybe it's people who are looking to invest in precious metals. Maybe it's people who are looking to protect, investments or life insurance. It can really be anything. But who do you want to buy what you're offering? Now, a lot of people, when they're first getting the ball rolling in business, they're like, well, heck, anybody. Like, I'll take anybody who wants to buy. And on paper, that doesn't sound like a bad thing, because then you're marketing to everyone. But in fact, you're actually just shooting yourself in the foot, because you're spreading yourself way too thin. So whatever it is you're offering, who do you want to buy that? And why do you want that person to buy as opposed to someone else? Like a friend of mine, he's an auto detailer. He'll be in this presentation a little bit later. But he's an auto detailer, and at first he started out just detailing anybody who would come to him. And then I was like, you know what? If you really, really target and you narrow down who you're wanting to buy your service, you'll make a lot more money. He didn't understand why, because it was taking who he thought was his full client base and shrinking it down to just this one little market. And I said, no. Do you want people who bring you their crap box of a car, basically, and want you to make it look nice, but they can only afford $200-300? Or do you want somebody to rock up in a brand new Range Rover and not bat an eye at dropping $2,000?
Or somebody who has a fleet.
Exactly. He was like, oh, okay, I get this now. So he switched his target to where he's targeting primarily luxury vehicles. He's targeting people who own these things, people who are usually in the age range of, let's just say 40 to 65. People who are 20, 21, 23, 25 are usually not going to be the ones driving around a brand new Range Rover, right? So he really, really niched down his audience, and he started targeting them specifically, and his business blew up. Next question is, whoever it is that you want to buy your product or service, are they a qualified lead? Now, there's 3 kinds of leads. You have cold leads. Cold leads are people who have no idea who you are, no idea what you do. They see you online and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe, sure. And then you have a warm lead. Warm lead is somebody you're already connected with, somebody you know. It could be friends, it could be family, it could be acquaintances, it could be some other way you have connection with somebody. Maybe it's an email list. Maybe it's people who follow you on social media, but they already know you exist. They already know you exist, and maybe they're interested in what you do, but you're already on their radar somehow. That is a warm lead. A qualified lead is someone who knows you exist, who's interested in what it is that you're offering, and is ready to drop cash right then and there. So ideally, who you want to target if you want to grow your business and grow your business quickly is qualified leads. You want to target people who are already into what it is that you're offering, people who can afford what it is you're offering, and people who are much less likely to put up a fight, so to speak, when you drop an offer. And if you don't know who your ideal customer is right now, but you're already doing business, think about who is already buying your product or your service. Like, who are your existing customers? Who's already buying this? And if you can figure out what's motivating the people who are already buying it, you can then go out and find more people like them instead of trying to find completely new people. So, I've already covered a little bit of this, but what age range is your ideal customer, depending on what you do, and where are they most likely to be found? If you are, for example, cleaning pools, and you're wanting to grow your client base, obviously you're looking for people who own pools, right? The people who own pools are going to be the people who own the larger houses, the larger pieces of property, the more expensive pieces of real estate. And the people who own the larger pieces of real estate are not going to be people that are just out of college or are trying to start a business. They're going to be people who have been around the block a time or two, people 40, 50, 60, in that age range, who obviously have money to drop or they wouldn't have a pool in the first place. Where are they most likely to be found? Well, people in that age range, depending on the generation, can often be found, are more likely to be found through website traffic or on platforms like Facebook. Not so much Instagram, pretty much guaranteed not TikTok, with the exception of people like LaRue. But they're most likely to be found on places like Facebook. Why? They have Facebook because they wanted to connect with friends. They want to connect with family. They want to see what their grandkids are doing, things like that. So you're most likely to find people like that on places like Facebook. Or, for example, your drone business. You're looking for people who have pieces of property, or you're looking for people who are selling large pieces of property. they're going to be more active on social media. You may find them on places like Instagram. You'll find them, or business pages of theirs, on platforms like Facebook. You'll find them on Google. You'll find websites. You'll find them more on places like that. And in cases like that, you'll go, okay, if I am targeting this group of people, on what platform does this group of people have the largest presence? You know, what content avenue are they most receptive to? Targeted Facebook ads, which you can get really in depth with targeting on Facebook ads. It's kind of ridiculous, to be perfectly honest. Targeted Facebook ads, email. Maybe you have an email list or you're trying to build an email list. One of the best things you can do if you're starting from scratch and you're trying to build an email list out is researching businesses. Like, I'll just take real estate, for example. Researching and finding agents, brokerages, and getting all their information, taking their emails, just putting them in a large list, and then you can start emailing things out. This works better if you're targeting individual agents rather than an entire brokerage, because if you're targeting a whole brokerage, somebody's going to get that email and they're going to go, they're most likely just going to, see it, delete it. Maybe they'll forward it on to a person or two. But if you're targeting an actual individual agent, like, hey, I see what it is you're doing. I see maybe the content you're putting out already. I can help you with this. They're going to be a lot more receptive to something like that. Website visits, like, are you going to get people visiting your website, or are you going to get them mostly through social media? If you're going to get them through visiting your website, they're probably in an age range where your website is the first thing they think of when, oh, I want to go see what this guy does. Whereas younger generations are going to go, oh, I'll find him on Instagram. Or,
What about TikTok?
yeah, or TikTok. Although TikTok is kind of a, yeah. Most of it's Facebook and Instagram. TikTok is,
Step on the wild side.
yeah. TikTok is definitely a step on the wild side. It's just full of drop shippers now. Next question is, what can you provide for free? This is usually information, but what can you provide for free to get them to give you their information? This works wonders for building an email list or email marketing, but can be used basically anywhere. You can use this on information. You can use this on social media. You can put a contact form maybe on your website and go, hey, if you want, here, like in, let's just say, trying to pick somebody out here. Let's go with you, LaRue. Life insurance, right? Let's say somebody comes to one of the places that you may be found on the internet, be it your website, social media, what have you. And you go, hey, here's 5 tips to avoiding life insurance scams, or to choosing who to go through for life insurance, because there's lots of options, right? Yeah. Put your email in this box below, and I'll send it to you for free. What can you provide for free to then in return get them to give you their information, their email, social handles, phone number, things like that. That's a way you can start building a base. Okay. Producing the actual content. Once you've figured out who your ideal customer is, create high-quality content that speaks their language and shows that you understand them. You're doing everything you possibly can to take their point of view on what it is you do, and basically, you're putting up a mirror and you're going, look at yourself, basically. Like, I see where you're coming from. I see what it is you're looking for. I see what you're afraid of. That's a big one. A lot of times people have been burned by, oh, hey, I do this service, and then it falls flat or something like that. I see what it is you're struggling with. I see what your pain points are, and I have a solution for that. The market loves solutions to problems. If you are not offering a viable solution to a legitimate problem, your business is dead. I'm sorry. That's just how it works. So once you've figured out who your ideal customer is, you create high-quality content that speaks their language and shows that you understand them. You aim to give your ideal customer, your target audience, the experience of what you're offering, rather than just strictly information. If I want information about anything that any of you guys offer, I can Google you. Takes me 5 seconds. That doesn't give me any reason to reach out to you and go, hey, I need X thing. Because if I Google you or I Google the service you provide, I'm going to get a whole list of people that do that exact same thing. And none of them, just in a list like that, are going to give me any reason. There's no reason to pick any one over anyone else. So give your ideal customer the experience of what you're offering rather than strictly information. Show them the outcome of purchasing your product or your service. So what you're wanting to do is, let's say somebody, I keep harping on you, but you're easy, pools. Let's say pools, right? You're aiming to produce content that doesn't just go, hey, this is who I am, I clean pools, this is how much I charge, this is where I'm located, all that jazz. Anybody can Google you and find that, easy. What you're wanting to do is, hey, do you have a pool that looks like this and it's disgusting and nobody wants to get into the thing and it hasn't been used for ages, but you'd really like to start using it again this next summer? Like, are you wanting to spend more time with friends, family, things like that in this area that you paid good money for, but right now it's gross? Well, I provide this service. Here's what this process looks like, and walk them through the process of cleaning the pool. We do this. You don't have to go into like tiny little details. Nobody really cares about the super tiny little details unless they're a nerd and they happen to love cleaning pools. But here's the process of how this works. We do this, we do this, we do this, and at the end of it, here's your pool after we've done this, and now it's usable. Instead of just being like, this is who I am, this is what I use, this is what I charge, call me. That doesn't give any motivation to actually want to pick up the phone and call you. Whereas if they can see, oh, this is what it looked like, this is what it looks like now, he's really good at what he's doing, and he likes it, and he's bringing a viable solution to an actual problem, then they're going to go, okay, I'll give this guy a call and at the very least, get more information, if not actually book you.
I think it'd be kind of cool to have him in a pool with somebody underneath with different things coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like crabs and all kinds of stuff. And make it a comedy.
Big old like treasure chest. Yeah.
I mean, that would be cool.
That would be fun.
You have to get it in that water.
That would catch
Make
it.
it all green.
Look at this, like a body.
Oh no. Okay. I got a couple of case studies where this strategy has worked really well. One of them is real estate. The other one is auto detailing, but this same process works pretty much regardless what your business is. Most of my experience using this strategy has been in real estate and luxury real estate specifically, but again, it's kind of universal. So this was a place I worked for back in Colorado, Eagle Land Brokerage. They sold luxury ranches and land, primarily focused on recreational use, so fishing, hunting, things like that. Their target audience, which we eventually helped them narrow down, was wealthy individuals who are interested in outdoor recreation as well as profitable land investment opportunities. Because quite often, these large luxury ranches, even though they're geared towards hunting, fishing, recreation, stuff like that, they'll also have, fields for cattle and things like that, or haying, things that actively produce at least a decent chunk of income, therefore taking the entire plot of land and raising its value over time. Their goal was to increase inquiries and sales by giving their target audience a visual narrative experience, or at least that was their goal after I talked to them. Because when I first came in, I was like, okay, what do we want to do? They're like, we want to sell land. I'm like, okay, who do you want to sell land to? People who can afford it. Duh. I have a couple of examples here that are video. This was a ranch that was being put on the market shortly before I moved here, actually. Had an asking price of around 20 to 25 million. Yeah, like 20 to 25 million. I think it was like around 2,200 acres, no buildings or anything like that. It was just a hunting ranch right next to a national park. Now, we made lots and lots and lots of these for a number of different properties that based on, ooh, hello.
Sell?
Yes. Based on that video, who is that targeted towards? Exactly.
Sal?
Yeah, Sal, basically. You should have bought the ranch, man. I have a couple more, but I'm running short on time. This one was a little more residential. I will play this one, but again, slightly different target audience, but it still worked. Now that one's targeted more towards people who are looking for, yeah, looking for a dude ranch, or they're looking for property that they can bring their family to, they can host gatherings at. That's what they're looking for. The whole idea, I'm going to skip that one because I'm a little short on time, but the whole idea is giving, like, each property was targeted at a specific niche of buyer. And so what you're looking to do is you're looking to get in their head. You're looking to go, oh, people who love hunting, they want to be the guy walking through those woods with a bow in his hand. They want to be the guy in a quad rolling around their piece of property while it's fall and absolutely gorgeous, right? That's what they're wanting to do. You're showing them, essentially, their dream outcome. They're going, hey, you want this. This is what you're after. This is what you're interested in. This is what your goal is. We have that. And we're not just going to give you information about it like, oh, it's this many acres or something like that. It's, no, you buy this. This is you. This is you walking through these woods. This is you around this fire pit roasting s'mores with your family, you know, stuff like that. That is really what we're going for. And things like that is what then prompted people to reach out for more information.
You're going after their passions.
Exactly. This worked so well. We had brokers and agents from other brokerages in other states calling us going, what are you doing and why is it working? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we started doing content marketing in February 2020, believe it or not, and things still work well. The brokerage is floating around 80 to 90-ish million in sales at an 8% commission, which is 7.2 million a year revenue. They had been 25 to 50 million in previous years. They'd been around since, I think, 99, something like that. By July of 2021, they had rocketed up to around 185 million in sales with the same commission rate. the revenue had increased. The revenue had doubled to around 15 million a year. And by the end of 2021, they had crossed $1 billion in lifetime ranch sales doing this marketing strategy. Case study 2, I have a video with this one too, but I'm running short on time, so I'm probably just gonna have to skip that one. It's on my website. Legacy detailing. It's a guy actually here in town who does auto detailing. He's a friend of mine. High-end auto detailing, paint correction, and ceramic coating. His target audience, owners of mid to high-end vehicles looking to get their vehicles detailed and paint protected for years. Goal was to increase inquiries and bookings by giving the target audience a visual experience of the detailing process, and that's exactly what we did. We took a vehicle, couple of vehicles that he had that were decently higher end. One of them was a Maserati, and then another one was a Ford that somebody had spent way too much money on. And we took it and we did a video that was very short, very to the point, but it walked through the entire process of a full detail paint correction and ceramic coating for the vehicle. I started doing work for him in August of this year. By December, so around now, his yearly revenue has increased by almost 200%. It's around 150-ish, last I heard at the time of writing. This includes increased numbers from insurance claim jobs. So he had people making insurance claims, and insurance companies who were making good on those claims were looking at auto detailers and basically trying to pick from a whole pool of auto detailers in the area, and they picked him. He's now one of the #1 auto detailers in the area for insurance claims. But people are also bringing higher end luxury vehicles. He's doing Corvettes. He's doing, I think there's been a couple more Maseratis and some fun, what I call fun vehicles that are a little bit higher end. People are going, yeah, I have no problem dropping $1,200 on, like on a detail or on a 1 year or a 5 year ceramic coating. So what's next? I'm going to have to go quickly, but define your value. The market perception of value can be understood through the following equation. Value is equal to dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement divided by time and sacrifice. So what does that mean? A person looks at something as valuable if that thing, that offer, is giving them their dream outcome and they perceive that they are very likely to achieve that dream outcome. If your offer is saying, hey, you want this and you're very likely to achieve it, they'll go, oh, okay, cool. Divided by time sacrifice. How long is it going to take and what do I have to give up? The goal here is to increase the first half of the equation, so you want to pump up the dream outcome and the perceived likelihood of achievement while reducing the second half. So reducing how long it's going to take and reducing what they have to give up. This does not necessarily mean lowering your prices, folks. A good example is a client that I'm working with. They are a functional medicine clinic and also chiropractic, but one of the programs that they do is weight loss. So in their offer, what is the dream outcome? You want to lose a bunch of weight and be healthier. Okay, cool. How likely are you to achieve this? Well, if you go through this program that we're offering, you are very, very likely to achieve this. Time and sacrifice. How long is this going to take and what do I have to give up? A grand slam offer goes, you can do this in 6 months instead of a year and a half. Or you can do this in, maybe if their goal isn't as big, you can do this in 3 months instead of 6. And, oh, you don't have to give up eating 90% of what you already eat. Anyway, if you have an offer like that, instead of you can lose a bunch of weight and be healthy, but it's going to take you a year and a half and you basically can't eat anything, no one's going to grab that one. Also, what do you have in your offer, in your business, that you can guarantee that others, maybe other people doing the exact same thing, the guy 6 blocks down the road that does the same thing you do, what can you guarantee that he can't? Whatever that is, that's a big point of leverage. It's a really big point of leverage in determining or increasing your ideal customer's view of how valuable your offer is. The more value they perceive in what it is you are offering, the more likely they are to drop larger amounts of money. Spread the message. This is relatively self-explanatory. Facebook ads. Targeted. This is really, really nice because you can target exactly who it is you're looking for. Instagram, hashtag posts, reels, and ads. Note, Instagram did update their algorithm a couple of weeks ago, like they usually do, and it's the most annoying thing in the world. Instagram is now favoring still image posts over video content for the time being. Who knows when they're going to change it again, but for right now, that's what it is. YouTube is excellent. I'll get into that in a minute. You can also put things on website for people who are looking for your website, or you can send things out via email. The absurd powerhouse that is YouTube. I'm really just going to kind of brush over this, but on Instagram and Facebook, content must be posted on a hyper-consistent basis to remain relevant. Old content will not be pushed. It doesn't really do you any good. YouTube, on the other hand, well-produced and optimized content is evergreen. Consistency is important, but well-produced content will continue to draw attention for as long as it is on the platform. So you can post something that's really well optimized, and it'll start getting traction. People will start seeing it. People will be interested in what you're doing. And then 5 years down the road, yes, you've obviously made more things. You've posted more content, but that one that you posted 5 years ago is still churning away, doing things for you. In addition, it's an excellent hosting platform for your video content. You can send links to YouTube videos anywhere on anything. So it's a great place if people have questions, they want to know more information, and maybe you don't want to hop on a Zoom call, or you don't have time to book a full consultation. You can go, hey, here's a playlist of YouTube videos that I have made that explain exactly what it is that we do, and you can send it via an email. Feeding the Google machine. It's symbiotic, I promise. The key to growing a business of any kind is an up-to-date online presence. The main component of that is consistent content. Google looks for updates to your domain across the web. If you are consistently updating your website, Google will push it. If you update your social media platforms constantly, Google will recognize updates and push those as well. Google also owns YouTube. So if you're putting content on YouTube and then embedding it on your website, sharing links on social media, because all of that is linked together, Google will go, oh, they're linking their website and their social media, they're linking YouTube content to all of those things. I own all of that, so let's push all of it. So when someone Googles you or your service, if you've done this consistently and well, somebody Googles just your service. And because you're putting out consistent, optimized content, there may be 86 people that do the same thing, but you'll show up first. Because you're pushing out consistent content and consistently feeding the Google machine. As long as you feed the Google machine goes, oh, okay, cool, I like you. Let's put you first over everyone else in the area that does your thing.
They're actually looking for keywords.
Yes, exactly. They're looking for keywords, and those can be found blog posts, descriptions on website, social media captions, hashtags, YouTube video descriptions, YouTube tags, even the actual video itself. If you are talking in your YouTube video, Google is analyzing what you are saying in the video and looking for keywords. It's crazy. So, I'm almost done. Too long, didn't listen. High quality, targeted online content posted consistently will lead to strong business growth over time. This is not a get rich quick, like my business is going to blow up tomorrow. It might blow up in a month, might blow up in 2 months, could be 3 or 4, depends on the content and how consistently and how well you're putting it out. So to recap, determine your ideal customer, your target audience, find your target audience by honestly just using deductive reasoning, where are they most likely to hang out, produce content that speaks their language, define your value, the value equation, spread the message, Facebook, Instagram, website, YouTube, TikTok, etc., and then you can just rinse and repeat the process. So, what is your offer, and who are you offering it to? Last slide. This is a guy I've followed for a long time. I got the value equation from him. In a casino, the odds are stacked against you. With skill, you can improve them, but never beat them. In contrast, in business, you can improve your skills to shift the odds in your favor. Simply stated, with enough skill, you can become the house. And marketing, specifically content marketing in the age that we're in, is one of the most important skills to do exactly that. That's all I got.
Awesome. Yeah, very good. Good job.
Thank you, sir.